So as I stand in the ruins now here at Eggleston Abbey, founded, should we say, in 1195 by the White Canons, so much history has gone on behind these walls. In 1327, the Scots were on our border and caused significant damage to Eggleston, causing not just a cost or rise in tax, but also the psychological damage that to the monks, to the canons, that kept the order here, that kept it in place. It was a really difficult place for Eggleston to run. It was quite a poor abbey. Not many canons, not many monks wanted to be part of the order here, what with it being furthest away up north most likely, and it sort of did fall into despair when King Henry VIII dissolved most of the abbeys in the UK during his reign. But again, we go back to the ghost stories, and there's some really gruesome tales about potentially things that went on here during the years. Now here at Eggleston Abbey, I've been many times and I've heard the tale so many times of the monk and the mill daughter, and the story conflicts what's out there written and what's been told in legend over the years. But the legend has it that a monk broke free of his order to the Lord and fell in love with a young mill girl, a very pretty girl, and subsequently started seeing a lot of each other, to the point where the other canons, the other monks, found out. And some stories say that he was told upon, some stories say that the monks tried to help him, but it's quite a sad end to the story. He become obsessed, he become overpowered with his emotions, to the point where he's seen her as trickery, as satanic, as though she was sent by the devil. Whether this was the opinions of the other monks that had twisted and shaped his mind, and ended her life by throwing her into the river just below, if you can hear it in the background. Now this became a guilt trip. He was really guilty, feeling so much emotions. He loved this girl, he was overwhelmed with her, to no more so than he went mad. And this is where the story of Eggleston Abbey and the story of the mad monk sort of come together a little bit. And one stormy night he broke free of the abbey and rushed out to the riverside, to where she was, to where he had put her, and he was never seen again, as though he threw himself in to be with his loved one again. But that's just one tale of the mad monk. There's many tales out there, and believe what you will. So my next ghost story has to do with the nun that is seen on site. She is either a local resident or someone of a religious figure here, perhaps in an illicit relationship with one of the monks. Now, she's often seen behind the chapel, which is just behind me, in a long grey habit and a veil that crosses her face. She is said to have met a tragic end. Now that would also tie in with the ghost story of the monk. But she doesn't leave the site. you know when she's here. There's a sudden drop in temperature, that feeling of being watched. Dogs, animals that here go a little bit uneasy and want to leave, and I'm kind of feeling that way now as the sun's setting. It would be interesting to stay here when it was dark and see what happens, to see if there's anything, any feel for that place. But you imagine all that history that these walls have absorbed over the years. You are about to get some energy that is replayed. Perhaps they're aware of you, perhaps not, but I might stay and find out. Third and final part of this tale relates to a man called Frank Shields, who came from Barnard Castle just down the road and became quite obsessed with the ghosts of Eggleston Abbey, so much that he in 1874, I believe, ended up being committed to a lunatic asylum, which was known back then. He became so obsessed, he spent the majority of his time here looking, seeking, and some say that his spirit resides here today, constantly looking for these spirits. Whether these are spirits or ghosts, he may never find out, because if it's a ghost, it's a replay of time. So if his spirit is living on looking for the answers, he could be trapped for eternity.